Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Metal and Lace YouTube collab hosted by Leah and Lori, and we'll talk more about that later in the video. So I have one of the newer wooden frames from Dollar Tree. So we are going to paint this with marshmallow paint from Paint Pixie. I am an affiliate. The link is in the description. So thank you so much for being here and supporting me. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you check out the playlist that will be in the description as well for all of those who are included in this collaboration. So I'm just using a pouncer because I didn't want a whole bunch of paint all in the little openings of the frame. And I'm only going to do one coat. And no, I'm not going to make you all watch all of this. I don't remember half of how this goes, but we're going to make it. So here it is all done. And this is a print, my print. I actually designed this print. What we're going to do is we're going to glue we're going to use Mod Podge to glue the frame on top of my paper. So I'm just going to go just around that little bit of the square and try to put as thin of a layer as possible. I'm going to put it right there. Push it down. Now, it took me a minute to figure out exactly where I wanted this to be. So once I dried it up, I'm going to come back in with my water pen, my water brush pen. And all I'm going to do is go around the outside of the frame and take the paper off. And this is rice paper that I used a laser printer to print this print on. Print this print. Say that fast 3 times. And then I'm just going to pull this off. Excuse me. Now right here there's a piece of the rice paper where it's a strand. So I'm just going to clip that. And then continue on, go all the way around. Then I made sure I was as close as possible where there wouldn't be anything showing through the front. That's what I'm talking about here. You can see it through the little slat at the top and bottom, but the rest that I made sure it wasn't showing. Here I am using Figgy Pudding, also by Paint Pixie. And I'm going to use a sponge brush, which I'm going to dampen a little bit to make it just a little bit softer. And I'm just going to pounce all over the frame, just making sure that other paint didn't come off. That's what I get for letting my paint dry in my sponge. Don't let your paint dry in your sponge. Wash it as soon as possible, if you can. I crack myself up. So I'm just going to go all the way around the frame. And then this is Deep Vermilion, I think, by Folk Art. And I'm going to do the same with this color. And then that green one, the light green, it looks like something's floating in it, but it's not. That's just a stick I have in there that I was using to stir. And I think this is Sage. And that's also by Folk Art. And I'm just going to do the same and just go all the way around the frame and just pounce those colors on. Just to give it a variation instead of just a flat color. Just give it some texture and some depth. I think this came out really pretty. For some reason, I'm in love with the pouncy method now, using different colors. And there it is. And then I also went through some of the lavender and I did strokes of green like it's the stems. I think that looked really cute. So this is the splatter screen from Dollar Tree. This is my metal piece. This was in my stash. Everything I'm using is in my stash except for the new wooden frames. So here, so that I can put my florals and my ribbon on here, I'm taking a piece of a stir stick. I'm going to put glue on it. And then I'm going to put another piece on the back. And this will give me a surface instead of the glue just squirting all out the back and gluing down to my table. Or my glass mat, I should say. And actually, this is a good way of just having that surface for you to know where you want to put your florals at. Now, this it says fern, but these look nothing like ferns. But they were from Dollar Tree. They had been in my stash for a while, so I was like, why not? Let's use them. So I'm just going to cut off the ends, or do I cut off the ends on here? I cannot remember. No, I leave the ends on. Then I'm just going to put a little glue on the back and press that down. And I am using a low temp glue gun so that I don't burn my fingers, although I'm sure I have before. So just be careful when doing this. And I'm just putting them down. Now I'm getting my silicone spatula so that'll help me not even worry about if I'm going to burn my fingers or not. And then I'm just going to place my leaves wherever I want. Of course, you can do this with any type of florals that you want. I'm in love with the purple and green right now. Seems to be my favorite colors. And again, just pressing it down. Do what makes your eyes happy. That's what I always say. If you do whatever makes your eyes happy, then you can never go wrong. I know I could have went a little bit faster, but this is actually sped up 2 times. So then here I am cutting off the ends because I'm actually gonna glue these between the first 2 leaves. Gonna stick it right in there. Instead of just having a whole bunch of stems, I'm just doing it this way. And put it there. And then I'm going to add one more glue dot for the middle leaf to lay down just a little bit better. I think I do it here. Yes. Just add just a little dot of glue just for it to lay down just a little bit better, so when I pick it up, it's not just flapping in the wind. Okay, and then here is the wooden frame with the butterfly. And what I'm also going to do is put glue right there, and then I add small pieces of wood on the back to hold that as well in place. I'm going to do it at all 4 corners and all 4 sides. This is not a requirement. This is what I just chose to do. Okay, and then here's my ribbon. This is, I think, from Easter last year, again from my stash. This pretty lavender, kind of like sheer, and it is wired. And I'm going to do the same to all 3 colors. And I started to do this dark purple one, but then I changed my mind, and I'm going to do the green and then the dark purple one. So you see here I started, and then I'm like, nope, yep, got to put the dark green in between. And then I'm just making a simple bow. And just decided to use my bow dabber because it would be easier. So I just went with the middle, make 2 loops, draw out the tails, tie it with my string, and there's my bow. Isn't it pretty? I think it came out pretty. And then I'm going to use some solar wood flowers, also an affiliate with Solar Wood Flowers. That link is also in my description. If you're interested in my prints that I'm using in today's video, they will be available on my website. That's also in the description. So I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. Now you see my little bag here, that's only like an eighth of the solar wood flowers that I have. I just brought down a variety because I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I changed my mind just to go with the white ones. Add a little glue. I'm going to put that one in there as well. And it is all done. Added some baby's breath around in it, and I will do a final reveal at the end. So this is Metal and Lace collaboration with Leah Make All the Things With Me and Lori from Farmhouse Stencil Shop. Again, the playlist will be listed in the description. So here's one of the eggs from Dollar Tree. This one is from last year. I'm using marshmallow paint from Paint Pixie, and I am going to do, I think, like 2 coats. The first coat, I kind of wet it down so the paint would spread easier. And since I'm going to be decoupaging on top, you don't have to do a perfect uh, coat. You can just do one. I end up doing 2, though. And here it's all done. That's the back, but I'm going to do the front. I'm looking to decide, do I want to do front or back? So I'm just going to do the front. It's my Mod Podge. Roll it so that there's no bubbles in it. This one is pretty simple. So this one, there's some places where I don't speed it up, where I'll do it in regular time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread the Mod Podge all over this because I'm actually going to do the iron-on method for this one. Getting a little messy there, just a little messy. And I'm just using the silicone spatula just to help spread it out real thin, or as thin as possible. But since I'm doing the iron-on method, you don't want it too thin. But I go back over some of the spots that look kind of dry. So I'm going to dry this with my heating tool. Just checking to make sure I'm all the way to the edges. Yeah, I got Mod Podge everywhere. I'm messy. Messy, messy. So I cleaned up, and then here's my print. My Mod Podge is dry. Got my little steam iron, little travel iron from Walmart. So this is where I want to iron this down. And it says Amazing Grace at the top. And yes, this is again one of my prints available on my website. I'm starting at the top, and then I'm just going to come downward, making sure I go all the way to the edge and the middle and go all the way down. Just take your time. I think this part is sped up, but just take your time. Make sure you go all the way to the edges and make sure there's no bubbles, because what this does is reheats the Mod Podge, so it then fuses the paper to your surface. So I'm just checking to make sure it's all the way down. Then I'm going to turn off my iron so I don't burn myself. And then here's my little zip sander, and I'm going to go all the way around. And you want to go downward. Don't go up and down, because then it will rip your paper up. So I'm just going straight down. I like to go at an angle as well. And there it is. It came out pretty. Okay, here, this is some lace that I got off a roll. I think it came from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to make a lace flower. So here I have a bobby pin. I bent the back of it so that it can avoid the holes as much as possible in lace. So all I'm going to do is go down the center and just push it all the way down. And then I'm going to do a second piece. You don't have to do 2 at the same time. I just wanted this to be full, so I decided to use 2 pieces of lace. You can also do this with fabric as well. I do have a tutorial on my YouTube channel that shows you how to make fabric flowers just using a bobby pin, hairpin. No special equipment needed, so I'm going to take the string and I'm just going to wrap it around. And my first knot will be a half knot. And it seems we can do this so much easier when we're not recording. So I'm going to do a half knot. I'm going to pull tight but not too tight. And then I'm going to push the bobby pin out. And then I'm going to pull just a little bit tighter, not too tight again. And then I'm checking my ends. That one is a little bit longer on one end, but that might be the way I cut the lace. But I'm going to go ahead and pull it tighter now. Flip it over, and here I'm going to tie a full knot. If my fingers would work right. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And just pull that tight, and then I'm going to cut the excess string off. Then I'm going to spread it out a little, and I see that end right there where it's a little bit longer, so I'm just going to cut it off. And then on the other side, it's a little long, just at an angle, so I'm going to cut that off. And then this is also not a requirement. This is what I choose to do, but where they're open like that in certain places, I'll just glue the top to the bottom or the two pieces together. And again, you can use a silicone tool or the fingers to put this together. I'm just going to tap, tap, then turn it, and I'm going to do the same on this side. And again, this is by choice. This does not have to be done. Just a little dab of glue. I'm just going to tap it. I think once was enough. Once was enough. I was like, okay, it's together. It's together. I check it again. And there's my two. Okay, so now I'm going to see where I want to lay them. And then this lace right here has been in my stash for a couple of years now. This is from Dollar Tree when they had this kind of like open lace. I don't even know what kind of lace this is, but I'm going to cut a couple of strips of those and add those underneath the lace flowers. Just to make it look pretty, give it a little color, give it a little color. Again, the purple and green is on my mind this year. I don't know why. I think I did maybe one or two things last year that had the purple and green, but I'm really feeling it right now. That's okay. I might be feeling a different color next week. Who knows? So since the holes in these are so big, I'm just going to add the glue to the back, the hot glue to the back of the lace flowers. And then that will hold all of that down at the same time. And this is why I speed up my videos, because sometimes when I'm creating, I move really, really slow. Other times I move really, really fast. Today I was just moving slow. And I'm actually doing the voiceover on the same day I completed this one. Okay, and this is my little rag bow that I made. This ribbon is from my scrap cabin shop on Etsy. And she has beautiful crinkled seam binding. I love buying from her. She has wonderful, wonderful colors. I don't know why I switched glue tools, but it happens sometimes when you have two of them sitting there and they're both on. So I'm going to press that down right there. Make sure it catches and holds. Might need to hold it for a few seconds. And then I'm going to trim the ends. Again, the bow is not necessary. It's just me being extra. Then I'm looking at it. I'm like, needs a little something more, don't it, Tracy? Yes, it does. We're going to add some more solar wood flowers. And this one has a big base on it, so I'm just going to cut that off. Then I'm going to add some glue, and we're going to stick that in there. And I apologize. I actually hit my camera holder. It's not on a tripod. It's on a swing arm, and I accidentally hit it. So I apologize for that. So I'm going to hold that just for a moment till it catches, and then I'm going to add another flower. After I looked at it, I decided it needed a flower on the top because you could see the string on the other floral flower or the lace flower. So I decided to add another flower to it. Then I'm going to add a few little, these are boxwoods. I bought the bush from Walmart. They are $1.49. Used to be $1, but now they're $1.49. So I'm just going to add these two little pieces in here just for some more green. Careful with this because they do melt, but I think with my low temp glue gun that it didn't melt like my high temperature glue gun. And I think this turned out so sweet. And if you have all your supplies together and everything, this will take you about 30 minutes. Maybe 45 with drying time. Sorry if you can hear that noise. There's a storm outside. And then I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. Yeah, there's a rainstorm. And I needed to do this now because any other time, sometimes when I'm doing voiceovers, a train decides to go by. So this was perfect timing, but so I thought, but then there's a storm. So there it is, all done and pretty. All right, here is the final ones. I appreciate you all being here. I hope you go over and follow the YouTube playlist and give all my crafty sisters a follow and watch them as well. I think these two came out really, really nice. I like the purple and the green mixture. Throw in that white in there, and I think these came out so, so pretty. Looks absolutely adorable. I love how this turned out. And I hope you love it too. And again, thank you to Lori and Leah for inviting me to their YouTube collaboration. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you loved it as well. Thank you for being here. See you next time. Take care. Bye.